how many people?
We got it recording now.
Okay, Hal keeps talking to Siri, my apologies. But want to go ahead and launch our elevation call tonight, and thank you guys for being prompt. It's great to see you guys, and this is really a special time for us. It's a special month. It's year end. This is a month that we sprint in order to start momentum in January. So one of the things I'm going to have Hal do is talk about who is sprinting now. And then we're going to talk about something that I think will really benefit everyone. So right. Hal, tell us about the sponsoring leaderboard.
Here we are 5 days into the month. So not many days into December, but we do have some folks on the enrollment leaderboard with Zalise as well as the retail. So let's talk about this. At number 17, somebody very familiar to the leaderboard is Laura McClendon in Tyler, Texas at number 17. Congratulations, Laura. And then also somebody kind of new to leaderboard. We're really proud of Kenya Chastain in Alabama, sponsored by Mercy, working with Lisa Hall. And congratulations to Kenya at number 16. That's awesome. And then also we jump over the retail board. Of course, it's early in the month, but number 17, Heather Walsh out of Pennsylvania.
No, she's out of New Jersey.
Oh, and out of New Jersey. That's right. Yeah, which is close to
East Coast.
Which is close to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. So anyway, congratulations, Heather.
And so, yeah, congratulations to those on the leaderboard. And I know that you guys are working hard. One of the things that we really want to always do is to let you guys know how we create duplication in this business. And when I started in this industry years and years ago, and Lisa Hall would know this as well, but there was kind of one way of really creating volume and creating a team. And that's kind of the old school way of picking up the phone and calling somebody on the phone and kind of saying a script. And that was really how we were able to what we call activate and expand our network. But now, you know, with the pandemic, we've learned new ways. And so tonight, what I really wanted to do was to kind of outline the how of building a business, building a distribution channel. And because we had a vendor event yesterday, Beth and Kim Reynolds and myself here in Farmington, Arkansas, an outdoor one at that, which we posted some funny and some just normal pictures of. I had vendor events on my mind as one of the ways that you can actually start to activate your network. And I know that Angela, as well as Christina, had a vendor event. And so that's really one of the ways when you kind of think about the different ways that you could build for people who really don't have a network or they want to grab a network. One of the things I think about is, you know, you pay for booth space. You really don't want to have a huge outlay for that. And you create a design that is meant to attract people to whatever your message is. And I know that I have Beth on the line. We have Beth and Kim Reynolds both kind of jump in and say, tell us a little bit, Beth, because you and Kim kind of found this event in Farmington, which is a little town in Northwest Arkansas here. We had our kind of our first Christmas parade / vendor event. Did you feel like it was worth your time?
Yes, I did. I was glad that Kim had talked to them and she kind of orchestrated it, and you pitched in tremendously getting things, and it was a great experience. We got about 14 people, so to me that's pretty good.
Awesome. Did you want to ask?
Yeah, so this was a first time event for this vendor event. They've had Christmas parade for years, but the city of Farmington, again, a small community, had their first this past summer, kind of, what is it called? Farmers market type thing every Sunday. And the people who put that together decided to put together a Christmas vendor event before the annual Christmas parade through the community. And so Kim and Lisa and Beth talked to the guys that hosted it early, and they only had like 4 people. And I'm like, they're 4 vendors. And I'm like, I don't know, 4 vendors, it sounds pretty small, but they went ahead and went forward with it. And how many vendors ultimately were there, you think?
Like 40, like it was 30,
It was a
35 to
bunch.
40. And in fact, I wanted Kim Reynolds, are
she
you
on?
there? Let's see if she, I don't know.
Yes, I'm on here.
Okay, Kim, you're on, girl. Tell us what you learned from this.
I honestly learned a lot. And for me to listen to you and Beth does not give herself enough credit. She knows
I
a
agree.
lot. Listening to you all helped me tremendously. Being able to talk, and when I would get, if you would, stumped because I'd be like at a loss for words, one of you all would jump in and help me out. I think it was a huge success as well. I have done one other event, and not with this business, but another business I was in, and it was not a big hit at all. So I was very pleased and proud of what we walked away with.
Well, and the work is really in the follow-up, because the event, obviously some people can sell some product, but oftentimes what we're really doing, we were actually going to raffle off a smart scale, which I got such a kick out of the fact how many people told me they already had one, just never stood on it.
They don't ever look at it. Yeah.
Like that's kind of the state that we
I
live
got a
in,
scale.
Arkansas. Everyone has a scale, they just choose not to use it. But that was the way that we were gathering names from the 4x4 in the back office under events, which 4 different little notes as to the format of what we use. It's very duplicatable. And then I noticed that Angela and Christina did an indoor event, which sounded pretty intense. So do you guys want to share, or just what you thought you learned from that? Angela, you're muted.
Today's event was a little bit different for me than some of the other ones that I've done. Normally I do sell product every event that I've been to, and today was the first time that I hadn't actually done that. But I think today I've got just talking to people, some more solid leads that I felt like were definite solid leads with people than what I had actually had in the past as well. So it was kind of a little bit different on both sides.
Hey,
Normally
Chris, how many leads do you think we got in that were in the box? About 20?
probably 20, 25.
Excellent,
That's
guys.
great.
And that's really kind of what I'm talking about. When you look at a vendor event, you really have to design it not just for selling retail, because you may or may not do that in just a first time connection with someone. But being able to get those names and work that lead list is really the value of a vendor event.
Yeah, I think when you do a vendor event, you're committed to the event, but more importantly, you're really committed to follow up because of the nature of the business we're in. One of the things that Lisa commented about, and again, I know this because I've done vendor events for other things, where I was out there to sell something. I mean, I needed to sell these things to make some money for me and my family. That's how I did the clothesline fair in Prairie Grove years ago. I needed to sell this to pay my bills today. And it was a fast turnover kind of thing, but this is not exactly that. This is much more follow up to build a relationship, answer more questions, try to build in some way a connection with their needs moving forward. But I was really proud of these 3 ladies. It was very interesting. They all had different forms of glow on, and they did some things to prepare not only for this event, for some future events. And so anyway.
Well, and I've been really impressed with Christina. She's really given us some inspiration to do more of these, because she jumped into Zalise and said, you know what, I'm going to build this and I'm going to get in front of people. And so literally, Christina, how many events have you done since you started Zalise?
I think I'm on 7 or 8.
And how long have you been in?
October.
That's pretty amazing. So I just want to recognize your effort. It is a lot of work. That's why Beth and I and Kim had to recover today. I'm like, man, how does, and then Christina's out there doing a whole nother event. So, so in your mind, as you're thinking about building this business, I want you to kind of set aside the vendor event as something that everyone can do as a service to their community. You know, it doesn't have to be a real big deal. It doesn't have to be a lot of hours, but it's a great way to wear your Zalise stuff, to get out, shake hands, and introduce people to what we do.
Yeah. And, you know, several months ago, I just want to mention this, speaking of vendor people who've done some vending events, Teddy has had his heart set to do and has done down in Florida a number of vendor type events and asking questions of how do I do this? And he's just kept that in front of him. And I just want to, for many of you may know that Teddy lost his father this week, who Teddy had been caring for in his home for several years. So just thoughts and prayers to Teddy from all of us. But he's a guy who really, to me, was one of the first ones that made a point about really wanting to do vendor events. Mhm.
Absolutely.
So your point though is that that's one way to build your business. And somebody like Christina, her personality will take her beyond that. Her commitment to her business will take her beyond that. Angela, that's not how you started your business, but you're working with your sponsee on this to help her, and you're learning some things. But the point is that events is one of the ways that people can focus and be consistent, learn. Lisa and I are actually going to do another one next
weekend.
Now, just to make a point, this is not the focus of our business. We want to be really clear that we're not telling you everybody go out and do vendor events all the time. That's not what we're saying. This is one way to do it. And if you've not done it, maybe you want to look into it to find one in the spring, or find some in the spring or early in the winter if it works for you, as a way to build your business.
So the second way is retail sales. And obviously most of us don't have our own store. So what we do is partner with a salon, a spa, a pharmacist, a doctor. Susan Welch is always in the top retail group. She's on this call today. So retail would be a partnership. And just FYI, with this Glow product, it is unique enough that it creates retail opportunities, because remember, 1 unit wholesale is $99.99. You sell that for the highest retail of $149. So that's a decent margin. But somebody who has a lot of foot traffic, a lot of customers coming in, they could actually buy 4 cases of 12 and lower their price per unit to $50. So that is that 200% profit that we talk about with retail. And you know, retail gives people an opportunity to either, you know, warm market, who do you know who's in your cell phone that owns a business, or the cold market, who can you walk into and create conversation.
So we've talked about 2 very different things. A vendor event, you set up a temporary place and people come to you. Just the opposite of that is that with retail establishments, whether it's all the people she just described, you got to either have a relationship, it's a place you frequent, a place that you use their services, or you go to them and ask, you know, develop a set of questions that you ask those people, so that you're in and out with your time and with their time. And if the door opens for you to walk through the next door, then you begin building a relationship with those people, that they may be an opportunity with you, not for you, but with you, to open up a retail opportunity for them to buy wholesale, sell retail, join your team in doing that. Right. So there's a come to and go to.
So they capture retail profit. What you capture is wholesale volume, which we're commissioned on. So that's the once a month payout that we get on the 15th of the month. So the third way is the old school way that I talked about, which is basically belly to belly. And that's where you make your list, you contact people so that they can hear your voice. It's a phone list that can actually translate over to Zoom, one-on-ones, launch calls with Zoom. In addition to that, networking groups are a very, very unique and distinct way that you can enroll the help of other professionals who may not be even your product users to help recommend your product, or to put you in touch with the right people to recommend your product. And I've learned a lot from Angela Noble on networking. I know Susan Everett has done a great job kind of developing her own networking. I'm going to pat myself on the back. I went to my very first networking group in Northwest Arkansas on Friday. And I don't know how I got this
It
group.
was free.
It was totally free. I kept getting these emails on this group, and it was 20 minutes from my house. I thought that's within range. And I didn't know a soul, but I showed up. And from 9 to 10, it was a 1-hour deal. And I walked away with 20 business cards. And I have already 2 different appointments, with one with a nurse practitioner and one with just a gal that I sat next to who's just adorable. So I felt, honestly, sitting in that meeting, an energy that I don't always feel sitting in my desk, just thinking about who to call next. So that is still old school, but don't discount the importance of asking other business owners, who do you know that might be looking for this kind of product with Glow? And that's a great question to ask. The other thing I want to add to the old school method is the 3-foot rule.
Go ahead and say that,
Hal
because I got
Henson-
one that's not on there.
Hal Henson is one of the best at this, just engaging in your world. I've seen Jenny Todd do this when we were at a dinner at a restaurant in Florida. She just is so in love with people and so interested in them that she can create conversations anywhere she goes. That's called the 3-foot rule. People that, you're not necessarily cold calling, but you kind of develop a quick connection with them and have a conversation. What did you want to add?
Well, I learned that when I was in the real estate business, when I began my real estate career in 1991. I mean, broker said, have a business card on you. And if people are within 3 feet of you in your grocery line, whatever, just actually say to them, who do you know who might want to buy or sell real estate? And most of the time people, well, I don't know. And I said, well, keep my card just in case you do. That's it, 3-foot rule kind of thing. But it's totally cold. It's totally, how to make a cold call, a warm call. You be warm. How about that? You just be warm about it. Just have a great attitude. Just be kind, compliment people without overdoing it like you're trying to pick them up or something. You're not looking for a date. You're looking to exchange just a quick deal. But one you don't have on this that's old school that I think that many of you are better at than you realize, but you just got to get out and do it. Probably all of you are. And that's go out and live life, guys. You got to go out and live life. You got to walk the beach. You got to go dancing. You got to go out to eat at restaurants. You need to go shopping. You need to go hang out and maybe if you love animals, go to the animal shelter and volunteer, hang out with other people. If you love farming, go hang out at the co-op. I don't know, go hang out places, go do something, go live life. Just this week, the craziest thing happened at our Friday night dance event. We had a cookie bake off with 24 cookies, and Lisa actually won with her secret recipe cookie that I got the recipe from a guy where I go with these guys playing golf twice a year, hanging out, from his wife, because she'd bring that recipe and I had to beg her for it and gave it to Lisa, and she won a cookie baking contest. Point is that at the end of the night, there's a lady there that Lisa, they were putting their shoes on after the event. They got to talking and found out that lady moved to Northwest Arkansas from Evansville, Indiana. And so just that connection. So Lisa has an appointment with her on Thursday. Why? Because we've been out dancing, living life. So, honestly, those kind of things I think are the best connections, the living life connections. Right. And you don't have it on there, but that's really where it's at.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And the last one I really want to kind of touch on, and then I'm going to ask Lisa Hall to kind of weigh in on this one, because I've never, ever pretended to be an expert in social media, but this is really the newest way to build a business. And it's also a way to kill a business because if you post the wrong thing, it can be just as disastrous, which nobody really wants anything to do with you. Nobody wants to friend you. But with social, you can actually look at that as, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, any platform where you really don't know people, but you kind of friend them, develop a relationship over time, posting, people watch you post. But the other part of social media that I have really not done yet is really Facebook ads, and also with regard to kind of funnels, bringing people to you by creating a theme, a program that attracts them. And I have learned one of the beauties of building a business is you recruit people that are smarter than you, that know things that you don't know. And I've always had the privilege of knowing Lisa for years and years, and have had a lot of respect for her and how she's done businesses over time. But Lisa now is with Zalise, and she's building this a little bit differently because of some health issues she has. And several of you have asked if Lisa would share with us a little bit about how she has put 149 people on Glow. And so I'm going to have her, and she's super busy. I appreciate her taking the time to be on tonight. I'm going to have her just kind of give us an update on just how people are liking Glow. She's got a lot of people that she's put on Glow. And then Lisa, just a little bit on just how you've done it with Facebook ads and some of the more innovative social media strategies that you've used.
Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, it's a little overwhelming right now, to be honest with you. I've been on the phone all day, so I'm trying to take a breath here. So I like to talk about how, where they came from, because I think people get the misconception that they can just do one thing and that one thing will fill their funnel up all the time. And the name of this game is to keep your funnel full all the time. Because if you talk to one person and then wait for that person to do something, you're going to be waiting a long time, because it could take them 3 or 5 years, or, maybe they'll buy in the first 5 minutes. But if you keep that funnel full all the time, and actually right now I've got 169 people on Glow. I've got 10 new ones since the first of the month. And what's really interesting is that 159 that came, in October and November, 158 of them reordered. It's very important what I just said, because I've been doing this for a while, off and on. And I have never seen a product anywhere where you put 159 people on it initially and 158 of them continue it.
Wow.
That's unheard of, you guys. Just telling us what we have in our hands. And then, I put 10 more people on this month. I don't even know what the date is today. It's been a few days, whatever. But, it's not stopping. But I did that in a multitude of ways. So, my initial thing that I did in September, I think a lot of you remember, we talked a little bit about, I did a single Facebook post. Now, a lot of you guys are my Facebook friends. And if you look at my page, you never know that I do this business. You never know that I own real estate. You never know what I'm doing in my life other than traveling and taking lots of pictures of pretty places. But I did a single Facebook post because I was so amazed with this product that I felt like I wanted to share with the people that I really love. And those are the people that, follow me on Facebook, my family, that kind of thing. And so I got like the first 50 people from that Facebook post. And I was surprised, because honestly, when I put it up there, I thought maybe 5 or 10 people. But especially now coming into January, who doesn't want to lose weight in January? Who doesn't put that on their list as something to do in January, right? I mean, it's just a new thing. So think about just doing that. But here's what I did. I and you can go back and look at my post. I didn't put the name of the company. I didn't put the name of the product. I put my results, and I had been using Rev and Burn since June. So I had really, really good results. And I put that on there, and I said, there's a great product. It's a brand new release, and then I talked a little bit about the study on it, but I didn't mention a lot of information, just some very basic stuff. And then I took it out of my Facebook post when people ask about things and took it to Messenger. And all of the selling went on in Messenger. And honestly, very few of those were phone calls. Most of them we just messaged. I had a set answer to most of the questions that I was expecting. So all I had to do was use a template and copy those in there. So it went very fast. I also have 2 other profile pages and a funnel on Facebook, all with my business. Those are more my business things. Got quite a few people off of those. And we did 2 Facebook parties with 4 hostesses in October, brought in another 50 people that way. When Lisa first called and told me about what was happening in September, if you remember right, I called 100 people. We ended up getting 59 orders from that, out of 100 people. That's pretty good numbers. I mean, usually you call 100 people, you're lucky if you get 10, right? But, I think the big thing was I was so excited about this, and I let everybody know that I was excited about it. And, like I said, I don't make a lot of statements on my page. Most people don't even know that I have anything to do with anything like this. But when I say something, people kind of have a little bit of respect. And I'm not saying, I'm not downplaying the fact that I have a history of being in the medical profession. So that does make a difference. But I will tell you that anyone else can do this just as well as I can. It's just a matter of talking to the people. And so, you know, and then I run Facebook ads for my business and my product, and that's working very, very well. And I chose to do that because I can't do belly to belly market anymore. When I did my first 2 companies, I did all belly to belly, all meetings in my home, but that's not reality for me anymore. And you guys are gonna laugh, but I'm learning to do TikTok. I should have a TikTok and a reel out here really soon. I feel pretty stupid, but you know what? I listened to a lady yesterday that has gets 250 orders a month off of one TikTok video that she did 7 months ago. And then she repurposed it into a reel and into her face, because now Facebook has them too. And, you know, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And she says she hasn't even put anything else up anymore because it's happening so fast. And, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to do those things. And I said, well, then you don't really want to do the business, because if you really want to do the business, you'll do things outside your comfort zone. I mean, I hate being on video. It's not my thing at all. But you know what? If it brings people in, if it's okay to put on Facebook, you know, I'm way overweight and I need to lose weight, and I was able to lose weight with this product. Don't you want to do it too? And that works for me. Then if I'm okay with that, it's fine. And I don't worry about what anybody thinks about me. What difference does that make, right? If I'm feeding my family and taking care of my family and taking care of my financial responsibilities, what do I care?
Right.
So the other thing that's really helped me a lot is with the parties. I set up a VIP group. Lisa, do you mind if I share my screen a second?
Oh, yeah. Let me make you, hang on just one second, Lisa.
Just because some people have asked.
I'm making you host here.
Yeah, some people have asked to see these, and it it says I have to stop recording. That's
Do you have to stop the recording?
I didn't think so. We were recording yesterday. Oh, there we go. Now it's gonna go. Okay. Sorry. For some reason it came up saying I had to stop recording. Okay. So this is my VIP group. So what I did right off the bat is I made this VIP group, and it doesn't have a lot of members in it, but every single person that I got on Glow, I invited them to the VIP group. And if you run through here, it's recipes for healthy food. It's recommendations of what to do when you're, you know, trying to lose weight. It's testimonials. You know, it's just all kinds of information. And I think that people like having that accountability. People, you can see people are, you know, visiting back and forth. I put some funny things in there.
Hey, you got mine. Wait, you got me in there. Back it up.
Well, you weren't supposed to see that, Hal. Sorry. You know, I put the new page when it came out for the, you know, the glow sticks and everything. But I mean, you know, just having a place where people could come and talk and visit and know somebody else that's on that. I think that has helped a lot. And I invite everyone to that. And this is one of our parties that we did. This is the one that I think when we got all done with this one, there were 75 sales out of this party. And every single one of those people's but one has reordered. And, you know, it's just, I mean, I tell people it's kind of like going to a Tupperware party, except for you don't have to fix the house. You don't have to dress up. Okay. You don't have to clean or make any snacks or do anything. It's all done on Facebook, and you can just basically, you know, answer the questions. We don't do any selling in the parties. We take the selling off, you know, into Messenger. We post thank you so people know what's going on. And all these slides and stuff that you see here, I make them once and then I repurpose them for every single party. So the first time I made all of them, it took me less than an hour. And then I put them in Sent Share, and they automatically populate the party. I don't have to do that. So the only thing that myself and my hostesses are doing are answering the questions and, you know, posting something new here and there. Okay. And people get excited. They start seeing the thank yous, and they're like, they're losing out. Right. And this was one of my best posts. You know what? This one's really kind of silly because I just did it, you know, just as a funny, really. But, you know, everybody always says, well, I'll wait till after Christmas, or I'll wait till after the holidays. And I mean, I heard, I forgot who it was, just somebody said they'd lost 20 pounds already. I have people that have lost 14 and 20 pounds already. So why wait till January 1st? I mean, you know, that's the thing. I think just, you know, making it fun, making it something that people enjoy, giving them the information. We gave a couple prizes away from here. And so, you know, I mean, it's not rocket science, and it's not a lot of work. Once you do it, it kind of, you know, it just kind of works for you. I know that Melita and Teddy and Darcy are all taking the course. You know, some people ask me to teach the course, but honestly, you guys, I don't have time. I have a huge real estate business, and I do this pretty much full time, and I don't have time to do that. So my daughter had already prepared a course teaching it for another organization. And so she just kind of repurposed that for our company. And I know that there's several people taking that course. I broke into retail sales the first time in the last couple of weeks. I've got a store that's going to be carrying my product. It's kind of like a combination, what I call an old general store in Tennessee, and they'll be starting to carry the products in the next week or so. And I also, I was trying to find someplace to stay down here on the beach, and I happened to call about this lot for an RV, and the lady was a veterinarian. Oh my gosh. So we're meeting next week for lunch. And so, you know, it's just kind of one of those things that, you know, I think that you just have to do a lot of things. You can't rely on one way or one thing to do. And, you know, I've got 7 new business builders in the last week, and a couple of them came from those 159 people that I put on Glow, and they seen it themselves. I've been just following up getting the Glow because there's so many of them and it took so much time. And, you know, they contacted me, and one guy, it was really funny. He's a Vietnam vet, and he had severe poisoning from Agent Orange, and had really, really bad neuropathy in his hands and feet. And we met because we were in the same campground. I was draining the water from my washing machine, you know, just so that I could take off the next day. And this guy was crawling under his coach, and he was groaning. And he came out, and I said, you know, I can help you with that. And he goes, my coach? Which is probably a little funny. You know, this lady standing here is like, help you with that? I said, no, that pain you're having. It was kind of meant as a joke, right? And so then we got to talking, and it was like 30 degrees outside. It was freezing. So I only stood there a couple minutes because I don't like the cold. And I said, you know, yeah, we'll get together. And I mean, I don't really think I meant it seriously. And by 10 o'clock the next morning, he had taken the number off my car where I keep my phone number for my dogs in case of an emergency. And he had texted me and said, could you come over for lunch? My wife made homemade chicken and noodle soup. I want to talk about your CBD. And he now is the one that texted me the other day. He says, I took 3 doses and my neuropathy is gone. And he said, I've had that since the 70s from Agent Orange. And he said, I've tried every drug out there and nothing helped me. I took 3 doses. He said, can I be a dealer for this? And I had to laugh because he was asking to be a dealer. And they jumped on today. We were trying to sign him up. We had a little trouble with the, you know, the Patreon deal. So we're going to have to finish that in the morning, but they are excited. They've already talked to over 20 people themselves without me. And so, you know, I think it's just, you know, putting yourself out there and not being worried about what someone else thinks, and just doing your own thing and trying new things. I mean, I didn't know how to do any of this stuff a year ago. Lisa can tell you that. I didn't know how to do any of these things. And yeah, so there's all kinds of things out there.
Lisa, how did you learn it? I mean, I know that probably everybody like me is sitting here. Is the best way to contact Rebecca just to learn? Because
well, so yeah, the parties are very, very simple, and the parties are very inexpensive. So Cinch Share is $10 a month, and Project Broadcast, I don't quote me on this because I haven't looked lately, but I think it's $12 a month. And those are the 2 things that you need to set up the parties. And Rebecca offered the course, I believe. She gave a discounted rate. I can't tell you the rate, but I think it was less than $50 for 6 hours of training, plus unlimited access to that training, plus unlimited access to her via email. And then, you know, she teaches you not just how to do the parties, she also teaches the Project Broadcast, and she also teaches, you know, how to run the whole thing and get the whole thing done, how to set up your Cinch Share. I shared all my slides and stuff because Rebecca had helped me do those with all the people that took the party, you know, took the party course. But the thing is, think about this, like I had 159 people to follow up with. That's a lot of individual text. Do you know how long that would take to do? Well, instead, we just put it all in Project Broadcast, which I already had from the parties and my ads. We just put them in there and sent one text out to 159 people, and I got 158 orders. Right? So then all I had to do is take care of the orders. And So yeah, Rebecca has the course done. It's recorded. And then she's there when it plays, so that if you have questions or concerns, maybe, I don't know if Melita's on tonight or Ted, I know Teddy's not. I don't know if Darcy's here, but they all took the course from her. She answers all kinds of questions. She spent, I think an hour and a half on the last one. I was listening in on the course, but I was kind of working at the same time, answering all their questions and helping and telling them, when they get their parties up and going, send them to her and she'll help. But, she has a ton of knowledge. She's where I learned a lot of that stuff from, but that's not expensive to do at all. Now, the Facebook ads that I did, that's expensive to do. And I don't think that the average person that can go out and do all the other things that Lisa was talking about needs to spend that kind of money to do that, quite honestly. And when you see on Facebook and you see where they, like, you make a post and they offer to boost it or whatever, don't ever do that. That's a waste of your money. You'll get nothing from that. That's not what we're talking about when we're talking about Facebook ads. We're talking about professional copyrighted Facebook ads. And Mercy and I both learned this, and we took months and months to learn it and a very large amount of money to do it. And it's worth it if that's what you want to do. But if you have all these other options available, then I wouldn't be doing that. I did it because I can't do that face-to-face, belly to belly anymore. It's just not feasible until, the virus goes away for me. And so I wouldn't recommend doing that. But, Rebecca's course would definitely help if you're interested. You could talk to Melita or Teddy or Darcy. They all took it. And, Mercy was institutional in helping set up the parties and stuff. Any of those people can tell you what it's about. And I didn't get a cut of the parties, just so you know. In fact, I had her cut her price. Just joking with you. But, the thing is, the reason I had her teach it is because, number one, I don't have the time. And number two, I'm not as good as she is. I mean, she's been doing this she's in another network marketing company, and she's been doing this. This is all she does. And she gets about $5,000 a month in sales through parties. And that's all she does. So she's the person to teach it, not me. I'm not an expert at it. Her party's the one that, her personal party's the one that brought in 70 orders, right? And so she made a nice little chunk off her party last month. So
Lisa, what's the best way to contact Rebecca? We've gotten that question. How do we contact her?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't think to bring the link up. I'll put her link on Team Unlimited. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't think about you asking me about it, so I didn't bring it. Sorry.
No worries. Just because, I'd love to take the class. I'm the kind of person that says, we're all getting better every day, and the world changes faster and faster. And you never know when you need to coach somebody in that direction that you're in right now, Lisa. It's great to know that you can have that kind of reach without leaving your home.
And I guarantee you that just learning Project Broadcast will be worth every dime you spend on that course, because the Project Broadcast is where you can send out huge text. So what I did is I've put all my business builders in there, and they're in one group, so I can send all of them the same text at the same time, right? And then I have all my Glow people, right? And then I have my Facebook ads for my product and my Facebook ads for my business. They're all different, but I can talk to all of these people. I can send out one text to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. The other thing I've been doing is, and it may just be me because I don't have an iPhone. I have a Mac computer, but I'm not an iPhone person. The app for Zelease just does not work so well on my Droid, and it may just be my particular phone. So I took those videos and stuff from my app on Zelease and put them in my Project Broadcast. Now I can easily send them out on there whenever I want to send them out. And it comes from a number that's not your personal cell phone number, because sometimes if you don't know somebody, you don't really want them to have your personal number, right? Especially if you're sending to somebody you just met, at a vendor show or something, right? And so it comes across as that number, but then it comes straight back to your phone, and your Project Broadcast is just on your phone, and it's just like having another number that you're texting with. And I did, and I'm being very honest with this, I had to hire a virtual assistant 2 weeks ago because I was working 16, 18 hours a day. I couldn't keep up. And so I hired a virtual assistant, and oh my gosh, she's taken a lot of this off my back. She's doing a lot of these things for me. And my business is just exploding because I have that extra help. And I don't know that anybody else wants to do what I want to do. I have huge goals and huge plans, but having somebody to help me was just really gigantic too. So it's okay to admit when it's growing too fast and your momentum's swallowing you. and that, you need some more help. And I also introduced
That's
something
awesome.
to Lisa
Thank you.
today. I wanted to mention this because for some people sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
That's okay.
that's
Go
okay.
ahead.
I asked Lisa, I can't find time to do 3-ways anymore, but I think they're essential for our business. I think they're absolutely essential for our business, but I literally cannot find the time to fit them in. Like, I have 7 new people signing up in the next 2 days, and Lisa hasn't met any of them yet because I just can't find the time. So I asked her if she would consider doing a 3-way messenger. So what you do is you put your new person on Messenger. We put Lisa in the same message and myself in the same message. You introduce them and edify them just like you do in a 3-way call. And then you just shut up and let Lisa and your new person speak, right? And talk and get acquainted. And it also opens it up so that if they have any questions, they can't get a hold of me. They've already got this messenger that just stays on, in their messenger and Facebook, and they can, connect with Lisa anytime, and they don't have to worry about. And I told Lisa, I said, it really helps me. I started setting them up with all my people, because then I don't have my phone ringing all day long when I'm trying to do calls, right? That's really annoying. And they have a direct line to me. And even if I'm talking on the phone to somebody else, I can sit there and answer in a messenger. So that's another good way to make your time, draw out. So I'm going to shut up. Sorry, I get excited about this stuff, but hope it helps somebody.
You might just want to clarify, of course, all of you know that we're glad to help, and Lisa's always available, and I am too. But in this particular case, my Lisa is Lisa Hall's direct upline. And so there's nobody between. So some of you have leaders, you have other people in between, and that same messenger practice could be applied there if you have prepped your upline and got their approval for that. Because there's a lot of people who don't, at least at this time, still use Messenger as something they check on often. So, but that's just a note there on that last part. So,
Well, I'm going to pause here, Lisa, with your permission. Thank you so much for just sharing your
Absolutely. It was
expertise. I
so
mean,
good.
Lisa spent thousands and thousands of dollars on her own education. And Lisa, I just salute you for that.
right.
I mean, you just really set the bar high for all of us just to want to get better at every part of this business. I mean, I really want to be good at all of those parts personally. But if anyone has a question for Lisa, do you mind fielding a few calls or a few questions?
No, that's fine. Whatever
Okay.
I can help with.
So does anybody have any questions for Lisa?
I put them all to sleep.
No.
You didn't. Might have overwhelmed them a little bit. Just wow. No.
I got a question.
Yes,
Yeah.
Stephen Todd.
How did Lisa decide on a virtual assistant? What point took her to make that decision, and how did she do that?
So I decided on a virtual assistant because I was at the point where I couldn't get through all my messages every single day. And so I was losing people because I was days and days behind. Like right now, I'll be honest with you, right now, I have over 1,000 people waiting to talk to me for my Facebook ads about my business. And I couldn't do that because I had all this other stuff going. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to be honest with you. I bought my product at Fall Fest, and I made $4,000 last month selling all that product to these people. And, and so it was worth it. I'm not saying it wasn't, but as my business grows and the momentum, I just realized that I couldn't keep up. And then I realized that I needed to train someone now. So we were able to, and people don't realize this, but I was able to make a deal with my virtual assistant, and she had a lot of this experience. Like, she already knew how to do the Cinch share and the project broadcast. I didn't have to train her in that, but we made a deal that, the first month she's going to work for $10 an hour. And then it'll probably go to 15 after that. But that gives me a chance to kind of ease into it. And quite honestly, she ended up doing the week before Thanksgiving was really, really busy, and she did like 5 hours for me. And then the week of Thanksgiving, I told her, well, I'm going to be off from all my other work. So I said, you do Monday, Tuesday, because I was moving from Alabama down to Florida, and I was driving. I don't talk on the phone when I drive this rig. And so she covered Monday and Tuesday for me, and then I covered the rest of Thanksgiving weekend. So she only had, like 2 days that week. But here's the thing is that if you lose just one person, right? If you lose one person because you can't answer their call in a timely fashion, and we all know how fast life moves, if you don't get back to them really quickly, they're on to the next thing, right? They're on to doing something else. They've lost interest. So I mean, I had a terrible feeling of overwhelm that week before Thanksgiving, and I was trying to, connect with everybody to get the second order. And I mean, she had all those 159 people in my project broadcast in one hour. First of all, I'm not that great a typist. It would have taken me a lot longer. And then within 10 minutes after that, all 159 of them had a text asking them if they want a second bag. So, I mean, now now I've sold 158 more bags, right? And does that kind of answer the question?
Yeah, I did. I think that, I mean, I think you're just doing this in a 21st century style. And I think it's amazing. I appreciate everything you shared tonight. And the other question I have for you in using a virtual assistant, but also in creating this, in moving forward this concept that you're using, did you think about this, or is she the one that basically has upscaled you to move forward with this rapidly, that you're doing this? Is that how this is transpiring?
Well, what happened is, and it's just a little bit of background on this. So I had COVID last year for 6 months, and they closed all the campgrounds, not thinking about where everybody that lives in an RV full time was going to go. And so I was in Yuma and had COVID, and my kids came through on their way to Alaska, and I usually go up there anyway. But this was in April. It was really cold, like 16 below in Alberta. But we drove up to Alaska, and we got to Alaska, and my kids' income for half of every year comes from Airbnbs in Alaska. And so we got up there in April, and the whole country shut down. And so all of her income that she comes from Airbnbs from May through September was gone. So she kind of fell into panic mode, because what do you do, right? And so basically she found this network marketing, direct marketing, whatever you want to call it, company, and they had this SendShare party program kind of set up. But the thing was, she needed to generate $5,000 to $6,000 in income her first month. Well, so she said, "Mom, can you help me with this?" And I wasn't feeling great because I had COVID, right? So I said, "Sure, just show me what to do." So she started teaching me at the same time she was teaching her. We taught ourselves from stuff online, basically. We didn't have a teacher. And I helped her. And that first month we sold $16,000 in product using these parties. And so then through the summer, they have maybe you don't know this, but they have a YouTube channel. Through the summer, they traveled to the Arctic Circle and everything. And while they were gone, I took care of the parties for them and kept everything running, because they didn't have internet most of the time. And so I had learned all this last summer, but, I hadn't really used it for my own business. Honestly, hadn't really thought about using it for my own business, because I just, I really hadn't gotten to the realization that I just wasn't going to be for a long period of time able to do belly to belly marketing, because that's what I was used to doing before. And then when I realized that, COVID wasn't going away like some of us did in the fall, I started with the Facebook ads, because, my warm market narrowed significantly when I moved into an RV, right? I don't have a lot of neighbors and things like I used to have. And so I did the Facebook ads, and those were working very well. But then when I started getting all the customers, I told Beck, I said, well, we should just do some parties and see what happens. And so that's what we did. I mean, it doesn't cost anything to do them much, like I said, it's $10 a month for SendShare. And if you don't like it, you can cancel it anytime. It's $12 for Project Broadcast. But I'll tell you something, once you get Project Broadcast, you'll never let it go, because it's amazing.
Oh, it really is amazing. I hope that, Lisa, that you recorded this. This is phenomenal information we've had to build volume quickly and use the internet like it's supposed to be used. I mean, that's exactly how business should be expanded today. I think you're right on it. Thank you so much.
Isn't it awesome?
Any other questions? These are good questions.
Yeah, I have one.
Yes, Susan.
Yeah, so Lisa, would you go back to belly now?
Honestly, probably not. And I'll tell you
However,
why. So let me give you, well, I know, but let me just tell you, she asked me if I would, okay? She didn't ask me if you should. I'm just going to tell you why. And so honestly, my lifestyle doesn't really fit that anymore, okay? So when I was doing belly to belly, I had a 4,000 square foot house, right? And I had a meeting every Tuesday and Thursday night of the week, no matter what, okay? Unless it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, right? And I had my whole team come in there, and all my team lived locally, right? But now I'm not in one place, Susan. I'm like, I mean, I don't stay much of any place more than a month or two. And usually, honestly, it's more like 2 weeks. Like I've been here 2 weeks. I'm leaving Tuesday morning. So it wouldn't fit my lifestyle. If I had my house again, definitely would. Because I mean, I think that, like one of the things I've really missed with this is when I did my weight loss company before, when Lisa and I were doing that together, when I sold all the people the product, then we had a weekly accountability weigh-in, and it was fabulous. Everybody came and got weighed and measured, and they used the fat scale, and we did all this stuff, and people could see their results when they couldn't, maybe the scale wasn't moving, but maybe they were going down 2 inches around the waist or whatever, or their visceral fat was decreasing by 3% or whatever. So if I was in one place, definitely. For my lifestyle, probably not, because it doesn't make sense. But I still do belly to belly. I mean, I'm standing out there dumping my washing water out, right?
That's what
And
I was going to say, Lisa.
It wasn't a septic tank, but and here's this guy under there groaning. And now look, I mean, this guy did network marketing before and was the top of his company. And he comes to me and asks me. So I am doing belly belly. I just do it at least 6 feet away.
There you go.
Well, and also I think that it's just what I love is that Lisa did not know how to do this when she first started thinking about it, you guys. So just every single one of us, that we might be like a deer in the headlights going, oh, I don't even want to think about this because I have no idea how to do it. That's what great people do, is they just learn it little bits at a time. And I think there's something in what Lisa said for all of us, but we wanted to preface it by all the different ways that we have access to build a business. And if we've forgotten any, let us know. But we tried to kind of cover all the different ways that you can build this. But what I love is just Lisa's method is very, very duplicatable. We talk about costs and investments. It's very, very low cost. I personally would love to take Rebecca's class, Lisa. So if you don't mind adding that link to Team Unlimited, we'll definitely post this recording when we have it. But I think everybody really appreciates, just you taking your time from the 1,000 people waiting to share it with us tonight.
I think yes, very, very much so. And Lisa, I follow you on Facebook, and you do what you said tonight.
She does.
Because the beautiful pictures that you post, you don't do selfies. You take pictures of your dogs, every once in a while. It's not all about them, but they certainly are appropriately there. You put out beautiful statements. And there's a lot of really good things. I've never been offended by anything you've posted. It's never even come close to being a marginal, overly political or overly religious of any kind. I think, coming from a Christian background, you post that. And I think people on Facebook and the internet, when it's done in the way that you do it, is a soft entry into building a really large number of people who are going to see what you post and not think, oh, she's trying to sell me something.
Right.
But when you do give a testimony, people pay attention to that because they haven't seen Glow and Zalise and all the other things that people often get, I think, impatient, or they get excited and they throw out something out there on their Facebook page. And it's just a red flag for many people that, oh, they're trying to sell me something. And so, she really does what she says she's going to do. And so anybody who takes on this challenge, I think, to add it, needs to maybe get the course, work with this, and pay attention to how you do it. So anyway, thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
And this is going to be recorded. It will be posted on Team Unlimited.
So you guys feel free to listen to it again, to share it with your team. That's really, we're posted on our YouTube channel on Team Unlimited. So any other questions or thoughts on what Lisa covered, or any of the other methods of how we build this business? Thoughts, questions, comments? Shout out to all of you guys who are sharing this, even though it's the Christmas season and people have Christmas lists. Also, just one thing I wanted to add, we have a special weekend next weekend. My oldest son is actually driving here from North Carolina. And so we will not have an elevation call next Sunday.
Yeah, we're gonna take a
We've
night
not
off.
taken a
I know,
night.
look at Eric. He's like, are you kidding me? What? It's a shock.
That means
First
all
time
of
in
you
30
guys
years.
have Sunday night off next week. So just write that on your calendar. This is a one-time deal,
No, I'm
so
gonna
don't
give
get
you-
used to it.
But I am going to give everyone something that I'm going to recommend. And it's a follow-up to Jenny's message last week, Jenny Lusby's. Because you remember, though she gave us a review of the Bob Proctor information, the one thing that I think she emphasized over and over again was, if you don't know what you want, if you don't know where you're going, you're not going to do any of this. You got to know your goals. You got to know what it is, what you're passionate about, what you want to do. So this week, because I follow Tim Sales, who we have mentioned to you before. So if you're not taking notes and you want to get what I'm about to say, please write this down. So on YouTube, Tim Sales, it was posted yesterday.
We can post it on Team.
We can post it, but I'm going to tell you how to write your goals really, really well. And I love how he does this. He does it very unique, easy to swallow, easy to do, gives you a different perspective. And I would encourage you to listen to it once and then do what he's recommending to do. And I will also tell you that he is doing part 2, at least, to this. He announces that or talks about it. But if you need something to do next Sunday night at 7 o'clock, you might do this, but I wouldn't put it off that long, honestly. I think it really fits with where we all are. Very, very practical. And I would say what you'll see there is it's not about Zalise. It's not even about network marketing. It's not about building this business. It's about who you are, what you need to do to express that in order to have that which you really want. And it makes it really simple when you know what it is you really want. And it's not, from his perspective, about all the things. It's about something much more important than that. So again, I just want to promote that, give that to you all as what I think is a really good, very practical, helpful tool with Tim Sales this week. So
So
Hey,
last,
Hannah?
and yes, Stephen Todd.
I think Hal hit that on the nail on the head. I mean, we're getting it in December. We're getting ready for the new year. That everybody needs to focus on their goals. However you want to do it with Tim Sales, whatever. And I think he's as good as there is. But I think that everybody, because we don't have a call next week, I mean, this is a prime time for people to really hone in on these goals for 2022 and learn how to do it or whatever they have to do to focus on that. I mean, we're starting the year off, start off right, knowing where you're going.
Excellent. Thank
Thanks,
you,
Steve.
Stephen.
all right.
And then Tuesday night, Hal and I are doing the 8 o'clock corporate overview call. So if you have any prospects that you would love to get on that call, it's usually about a 30-minute overview of products and business. And we've got this posted on Team Unlimited. So we will see you guys on the Freedom Call Monday night. Thank you so much, as always, for your consistency in showing up on Elevation Call. We love you guys. We love doing life and business with you. Lisa Hall, thank you so much for your investment in us. And we're hoping to become as smart as you on social media one of these days. We're following on your footsteps for that. So thanks again, guys.
Thanks
you,
for all your
guys.
Get some
input,
rest.
everybody
Lisa
who
Hall.
shared tonight. Thank you.
Good night.
Lisa, thank you, Hal.
Thank you.
Great call.
Great call. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.